Hell is a mechanism of nature. It came to exist principally to deter any living beings from misbehaving. But unfortunately, then it became used by the anti-concept, which is actually the collectivity of you people, to create terror in nature. As I had said in a previous video, you people actually send animals to hell. Well, actually I was talking about little insects in the other video, but you actually send all the animals to hell in your slaughterhouses. They are helling places, not killing places. Those animals anyway would be too weak to die. They have been bred genetically over generations to become weaker and weaker, and they do not have the strength to defend themselves from evil at the moment of death. So they would be destined for hell anyway. It should be absolutely forbidden to factory breed animals. It's a crime against nature. So you go around helling people. Well, I have another surprise for you. You actually have the talent of helling dead objects. For example, it is known that you can inhale cigarette smoke and send the particles of smoke to hell in your lungs. That is horrific. Now, you also threaten your body parts because your bodies don't agree with you. Your bodies don't agree with actually having a person living inside them who is against nature. So you threaten your livers and your brains and your lungs and your pumping hearts, etc. And you can actually send your livers to hell and then reinstate them. Of course, that liver is now not the same liver. It's physically the same liver, but the previous liver went to hell. Now you do all these awful things. You can send stones to hell. You can send anything to hell. That's your primary talent. You send entire worlds to hell at an enormous distance from here, with all the beings in them. And on one occasion you sent an entire world to hell and every single particle of dust in it to hell. And the gods are still working on that one because it hasn't been all saved yet. And that was your biggest attack, and it occurred about 2 months ago. Now, you don't cause physical destruction, as I said in a previous video. You cause simply this effect of beings going to hell. I mean, you do cause a limited amount of physical destruction, to be honest. Yes, the catatonic churches on the planets of good people actually suddenly flushed to the ground in a terrible mess after a few thousand years. And that is because of your effect. They become slush. But your biggest crime is sending animals to hell. And that's the nearest crime to you, because you are sending billions of animals to hell every day on the earth, and that is terrible. And I repeat that all the slaughterhouses are helling houses. They are not slaughterhouses at all. Animals can't die in that fashion anyway. They can't really die in an obscene environment. Any environment which is obscene will encourage the factor of evil to increase, and the animals will be more prone to go to hell. But as I said, those animals anyway are too weak to be able to die. Beings have to die when they are still strong enough to be able to die. Good humans arrange their own procedure. Good humans are lucky in that they live much longer than you. They live to over 300 years old. But they live much less than what they could actually live to if they were insane. If they were insane, they would live till they were 500. But no, they make sure that they are terminated before they are 500 years old, because they would start losing strength and they would not be able to die anymore. Now, even though they follow God in everything else, God does not promise to save anyone who is irresponsible and decides to live to 500 years old. Of course, there are the three castes. There are some people who can live to 500 years old, and they have no, and of course in their case they could even get to 1,000, but they would be fools to get to 1,000, because they would be too weak to be able to die safely. Safe death is essential in the world. Death is the most dangerous moment existing. It is for all beings. Animals instinctively know how to kill another animal. They have the technique. You people do not have the technique. Your hands are cursed. Your feet are cursed. Anything you do, I mean, even if you use a bow and arrow, your arrow is cursed. Your gun, if you use a gun, the bullet is cursed. Any way that you use, any method that you use of killing an animal will result in the animal going to hell. So that's a very bad situation, isn't it? It means that you can't actually do anything without committing the most hideous crimes against nature. So it's perfectly obvious that you people will all go to hell. Now, justice is meted out at the end of time. So what actually happens is that you are kept in what is called death stamps. At the end of time, in the last 3,000 years, you are sent to hell. And any acts of mercy will be carried out then. An act of mercy means that you will be simply put to death forever, and you will not feel anything anymore. Now, the end of time is a long way away. It's actually 500 billion years. Now that is zillion with a T before it. That is the largest number ever invented. It is an enormous number. Now, if you people think that that is not a problem because it's a long way away, I assure you instead that from any part of time to the end of time, it's only a quarter of a second, whatever. That's what we say, a quarter of a second. So when a person dies in a hospital or at home on their deathbed, then if they are evil people, they will go to hell immediately, really. They will not notice any rest or wait or anything like that. They will simply go straight to hell in that moment. And hell is the terror of nature. All the good people have terror of hell because you people are threatening nature, everything in nature with hell. You see, nature cannot collapse without everything going to hell. And you are trying to make nature collapse. Nature has to be destroyed by my father in a strategic way, in a precise moment. That way nothing will go to hell except for the evil people. The evil people will be outside the space and time concept. So they will continue to suffer in an accelerating way for all of eternity. That is all about hell. Now, hell is a microscopic tube, as I said before in the video, where you accelerate inside it and you are stretched and squeezed, and you have gargantuan heat which you perceive as freezing cold, but you actually perceive it as heat at the same time. It's a very smelly affair, extraordinarily smelly affair. And you people will know all about this, you see, for eternity, because you have done so much damages, and we have to presume that you could have destroyed all of nature, because we're somewhat sure, you see, we are living on tenterhooks here in nature. We have to presume always that you could have destroyed all of nature, and that attempting to destroy nature is punished with infinitely accelerating suffering for eternity. And that's what you'll get, you people. And there's no way out of it for you people. And I think that's why you always choose the soft death. You see, a normal person like me would prefer to be hunted. I'd like to be chased through the forests by hunters and surrounded and shot. In fact, I have had dreams like that. Of course, the moment they surrounded me, I woke up. But that's my state dream. Now, all animals have the state dream. That is so that they can die safely in their sleep. Because at the moment of death, your heart has to be beating as fast as possible. And your blood pressure has to be very, very high. And your reflexes have to be honed to the maximum. That is the only way of defending yourself against evil. Now, you people instead prefer to slowly slip away. And where do you slip away to? You slip down the tube, I tell you. That's what we call it, the tube. Or the bunghole sometimes. It's a nasty thing. And the tube, or the unhole, which is a scientific name, that is a scientific name of hell, the unhole, is the most ghastly thing ever invented. My mother, Heather Smith, after what you did to her, tried to invent a worse hell for you people, but she couldn't manage. And lots of people, lots of God scientists have tried to invent worse hells, but there is no worse hell than the unwhole. So that's the truth about hell.